Hi, my name is Phoebe, or Miss Holland to my students, and this is a very short introduction on how to add your own track to a project in Soundtrap. So, our project right here for the week of April 20th is going to be a drum sequencer. Let's enter the studio. We do that by clicking Studio, and all the students will be added, and there's pretty clear instructions on how to add students to a group. And I'll post in the description box a link to Soundtrap for educators because they have a very easy guide for that. So this, I made my own beat just for the one measure. And students would add all the students' tracks would be here. So I want them to click on Pattern BeatsMaker, but you could always browse loops or play the synth, and I encourage my students to explore everything that this app or the web browser has to offer. So Pattern BeatsMaker, and you'll see the track comes up with vanilla, which is the default machine. So rename as your last name, student last name. And put the headphones on so you mute all the other tracks. So you're not listening to everybody's tracks all at once, because that would sound very messy. So I'd like my students to click on this and choose their own machine. So you can look at kits, which sounds more like a real drum kit. Machines, which would sound like something from a drum machine. So they're going to sound a little bit more processed usually. CR18. Let's just pick that because I'm not sure what it means and it sounds interesting. We'll learn something new. Okay, so it's going to loop on one measure, and one measure is split into 4 beats for this. And so we have 1 beat, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. And we don't need to think about the theory for this, but just know at least that there's beat 1, 2, 3, and 4 beats. So kick, let's see how it sounds if we put the kick on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn up a little bit. Okay. So first thing we notice is that the kick is really bouncy and like kind of loops up at the end and at the beginning. So there's like a scoop, boom, boom, boom. So that's interesting. Pay attention to what your instruments are doing. And then we have the snare. So let's add that on beats 2 and 4. That's often where a snare goes. You can add it wherever you like though. So the snare sounds kind of flat. So we might want to add a little reverb, which adds in some echo. Yeah, I like that better. And here's a closed hi-hat. And this is just the preset. But if you want to change the instrument, you can click on this arrow and choose anything you want. So let's choose a mid-tom. And you can add another instrument. I would like my students to add at least 1 or 2. Or rather a component of a drum set. And again, you can change that to be whatever you want. So let's do a crash. Why not? So this is what it sounds like so far. Listening. Okay, let's add the mid-tom at the end of these beats. Da-dum, da-dum. Okay, so that's where it sounds. And then if you're like, I don't know which one's the tom, which one's the kick, because they both have low sounds, you can take away one of the sounds and then add it back in and notice what's different. Okay, so let's add a crash. Move my little camera self. I don't like it there. Let's do it there. Okay, and that's our beat. So you can look at these controls. These are very few, but reverb adds that bit of space and echo. And then pan is left or right, as we know from our tech class. And then the volume is, of course, the volume of your own track. You can leave it preset where it is. And the only other thing that I would want my students to do is also explore the effects and take a look at the basic amp effects, and then explore these and add one of their own or not. Move my camera back down. You can close that out. I'll close this out. But Soundtrap has so much to offer. I really like it so far, and I can't wait to see all of my students and their beats. I'm so excited to see what you all come up with. And yeah, that is a very short introduction. So please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more tutorials and performances and all that good stuff. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.